jumped.
Lyndon Labayan.
Hi guys, this is my first talking head video. Probably not gonna vlog for a bit because I'm so lazy to vlog. But a talking head video is pretty easy because I just sit here and I just talk. Okay, this video is gonna be about 6 tips I wish I had Googled beforehand, and or if I already knew them, had listened to before I started trying to shoot like events and doing like videography on the side. That's what I'm talking about today. The first tip that I wish I had listened to and or had Googled beforehand was being more assertive. So when you shoot these events, like weddings or birthdays and like conventions, you're generally shooting people. That sounds wrong. You're generally filming people. To get, I don't know, any kind of emotion out of people, you gotta like hover around them or somehow catch them emoting with others. Emoting? Like catch them in their element, because a lot of people are just, you know, they're camera shy. They don't like knowing that the camera's on them, and they don't act normal when the camera's on them. Like now, like I don't fucking act like this. If either you're posing somebody or you're getting somebody to do something like cutting a cake, it helps to just say, hey, Bob, I need you to do this exact task and you're gonna do it this way, and it's for the video. And usually Bob or people are pretty receptive when they know it's for like the video or it's for the people who are holding the event. Sometimes people will say no, like no thank you, I don't want to help you, and that's fine too. But if you don't ask, telling people what you want them to do, you're not going to get the results you want. That also goes for working with photographers or other people shooting videos too, because you might not be the only one shooting. Oh shit, is this a switch? Oh wow, this mug has these are all switches. Stabilization on and off, and then autofocus on and off. That also goes for photographers and videographers. So you might not be the only one shooting. I shouldn't say shooting, filming, but photographers shoot too. You might not be the only one. Sometimes you're sharing shots with them because they're there to do a job. You're there to do a job. Be assertive with what you need. If you weren't happy with a shot, and they want to take their turn, let them take their turn. I wish I was more assertive with the stuff I shot last year and even this year before COVID hit. The next tip I wish I had listened to and or Googled. Like this one, I definitely should have listened to. Like every YouTube tutorial for how to shoot video tells you to do this. But plan your shots and practice your shots. For the uninitiated, there are 6 shots, like action and moves that you can do with a camera. There's the orbit, the pan, the tilt, the push, the jib, and the follow. So of these shots, I would have only really used like maybe the orbit, pan, tilt, and follow. So had I practiced a bit more of these, I probably would have used more, and even the ones I did use probably would have looked a lot better. Movement is highly overrated nowadays. So a lot of good shots can be had stationary. You know, just using people in your shots as the movement. I wish I wasn't trying too hard initially. What's funny is you say try too hard. Had I been trying hard, I would have been practicing more. But the next tip is bags and cases. Oh shoot, what was my first time I tried shooting for other people? I had one backpack for like 6 lenses and a camera body, a tripod and monopod, and a gimbal, and it was just stupid. So not having like the proper bags and cases to carry all this stuff really makes it hard to bring it from different locations, the car to location, back to car. But I did actually pick up a sticks bag, so a bag for my tripods, monopod. It does go a long way, especially for weddings when you're moving from location to location. The next thing I'd like to invest in is a hard case, but I have to finish baseboards first, otherwise Brittany will kill me. All right, so the next tip that I wish I had listened to was actually just practicing manual focus. So I shoot on the GH5, and it's a beast. Like it's a great camera. Anyone who knows YouTube filmmaking, videography, if you're not shooting on like a 1DX Mark II or Mark III or an A7 III, you're shooting on the GH5. Crazy stupid bit rates for 4K. It does 4K 60, but it does not have great autofocus. In fact, the autofocus is so bad, especially when you adapt lenses to it, that it is like useless. Like you can't use autofocus at all. It leaves you with manual focus. Now, manual focusing isn't really hard, but it does take practice, especially when you're shooting with lenses with super wide apertures where your depth of field is like really, really narrow. I've talked about it before in other videos. I don't know, turn to the side. Let's say their nose is in focus, their back eye, the eyes to the back side of focus. And I read online that some of the best manual focusers aren't even in like the movie industry or film industry. They're actually in sports. So football, all the, like, you watch Super Bowl or NFL, whatever, football Sundays, when those guys zoom in, they're zooming in with like 800 to 2000 millimeter lenses, and all that is manually focused. So when you're seeing the ball fly or whatever, and they're chasing it, some dude is there with a focus pull machine thingy, and he's manually racking that focus. And how they practice actually is they tie a tire to like a tree or a post, and they push the tire back and forth, and it rocks back and forth, and they just sit there like all day, 6 hours a day. They're just turning, focusing, trying to catch that tire and keep it in focus as it's rocking back and forth. Good way to practice is let your dog run around. Try to keep your dog in focus. GH5 manual focus, boom. All right, the last tip I wish I had Googled and or listened to. No one's talked about this, so this one, I wish someone had talked about this. Shooting weddings and birthdays, events like that, typically you're working with DJs. You'll get your audio from the DJ, make sure your lighting's not in the way of their lighting, but DJs have their own lasers. And there are dangerous lasers. They're not good for human eyes either, but they're definitely not good for camera sensors. The second paid gig I had accepted, I destroyed my camera sensor. And I didn't figure that out until like the next weekend when I went to use my camera I Googled it up after, and turns out it's pretty common at concerts. So like concerts will have laser shows, and you got $10,000 cameras just being wrecked. So you got to plan out where you're going to be facing, where the lasers are going to be shooting out. It would have helped at that birthday party had I actually gone up to the DJ and said, hey, stop shooting your lasers at me. So that ended up being pretty expensive, but also not. And I contacted Panasonic. They quoted me. It was just an estimate because until they get the unit, they can't really tell you what the hell's going on. But they tell you that it's going to be anywhere from $100 to $500. Now, $500 is it's like a quarter of the cost of the camera. So I was sweating like, oh my God, $500, but it is better than paying $2,000. So I ended up shipping the camera out to Panasonic. They got back to me telling me that it was actually only going to cost $249. Oh, and that included my 70-something deposit, which is pretty good because that's, pretty much half of the worst case that they estimated me for. But yeah, since then, weddings I've done after, I've made sure to talk to the DJs like, hey, do you have lasers? Where are they pointed? Do not use them until the dance. Some DJs aren't too receptive. Some of them try to challenge you like, well, I want to put it on during the bouquet toss or the garter toss. You have to tell them like, look, I need to shoot from any which way at any point because I don't know what's going to happen when the garter gets tossed or any of these events that happen. I don't know where I want to be to get the shot I want. Do not have the laser on. It doesn't matter so much for like the dance part because whatever, I'll just make sure I shoot from the same direction as the laser. That way there's no chance for laser to hit me and people are just dancing anyway. It's not like I'm gonna catch anything critical or miss anything critical there. Definitely for bouquet toss, speeches, garter toss, they don't need to be tossing out the lasers. And yeah, I've totally learned from my mistake. And I'm totally surprised that like from all the tutorials, all the events and wedding videography tutorials that I've YouTubed, no one's talked about it. But it also could be common sense. I mean, it's common sense. You don't stare at a laser directly with your eyes. Why would you point a camera sensor to it? Okay, that is it. That's my talking head. Thank you for watching. I'll end this video here. I'm gonna have another video up maybe next week or in 2 weeks. Bye guys, thank you. Bye.